Recording in progress.
Hey everybody, welcome to Stock Sniper Trading. Thanks everyone for joining. Welcome guys, it's 11 a.m. Eastern and it is Wednesday, May 13th. So thanks everyone for joining. Guys, today we're going to have two sessions. This one is going to go till about 1 p.m. So we're going to go for about 2 hours. We'll look at gold and NASDAQ today. Just like yesterday, and we'll take about a 15-20 minute break, and then we'll have another session if you want to come and join us and just have some stock talk. And we're going to talk about the stock market, and just it's our first little intro class, so we're just going to talk about some earnings today, a couple securities, we'll chart, we'll see what's going on, and then we have more and more and more on the next more sessions we do with stock and options. We'll be looking at more and more and more things. Okay, I just want to see if I can handle two sessions a day and just see if I can work it in with my schedule. So it's more for like a trial to see if I can handle this with everything that I'm doing. And hope you guys, if you want to join, you're welcome to join the next call. But I know you guys are here for Forex, so let's get started. Guys, big day in the markets. It's PPI data that was released. We'll go over all of that. And if you're trading gold, US 30, NASDAQ, whatever you're trading, please trade with proper risk management. Okay, so let's get into this real quick. Forex Factory, there was this news at 8:30 a.m. Eastern today. Core PPI, that's the Producers Price Index, month over month. Core, you know that core excludes something. So it's the change in price in finished goods and services sold by producers. So yesterday, if you guys remember, was CPI. That's inflation, consumer price index. This is now for the producers, and the core excludes food and energy. Food and energy are mainly our biggest costs as consumers, and the core excludes it. Okay, and then the next reading we have is the one PPI month over month, and that one includes food and energy. So you get two separate readings. Okay, and they came in hot and heavy, just like inflation did yesterday. So previous was 0.2. They were looking at a forecast of an increase, and look at how much more than the forecast it was. So it's basically 3 times more. So the core PPI is like 3 times more, came in at 1.0, and the PPI came in 3 times more at 1.5, 1.4, 1.5. So what does this mean? If you want to read a little bit about the producer index, there's little articles here. So wholesale prices in April rose the most in 3 years. Okay, so wholesale prices, if you guys are going shopping, going to the grocery stores, anything, spending your hard-earned money, you're probably noticing everything is going up in price. Everything. It's crazy. Depending where you live around the world, some places are more expensive than others, but everywhere across the board is very, very expensive. So it's due to everything that's going on around the world right now. We have high inflation, we have wars going on, we have increase in oil and energy with what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz, and you and I are the ones that have to pay for it, right? So so what is this doing? It's signaling more inflation as pipeline costs intensify. The producer price index rose a seasonally adjusted 1.4% for the month, much higher than the 0.5% Dow Jones consensus forecast and the upwardly revised 0.7% March increase. So the BLS reported today this was the largest monthly gain since March 2022 when we were coming out of COVID. On an annual basis, the index was up 6%, the biggest increase since December. Excluding food and energy, core PPI accelerated 1% compared to the 0.4 estimate. Okay, so if you want to read more about that, there is an article. You probably saw why the stock market sold off during Wall Street. There was a little bit of a red volume in the markets. Could have been due to that PPI data. Okay, for us this afternoon, there was crude oil inventories that just came out as well. If you're trading crude oil, we have some FOMC speakers right at the end of our call. Yesterday we had the 10-year US bond auction, and today is the 30-year bond auction. So the 10-year went up by about 20 basis points, and they got the 30-year set at 4.88. So we're gonna see if it's gonna be in the 5 range. So if it comes in 4.99, 5.09, anywhere around there, we'll see if it's in the low 5s coming in. And also, guys, we're going to have to say goodbye to Mr. Jerome Powell. Friday is his last day. So today was the Fed chair nomination vote and it passed. So the name that we're going to be probably saying in the near future is Kevin Warsh. So the U.S. Senate will vote to pass or reject the nomination of Kevin Warsh as the Federal Reserve chairperson for a term. So we'll be getting to know this guy for the next 4 years, just like we got to know Mr. Powell. So he's starting Friday, May 2026, and it's a 4-year term all the way till May 2030. Okay, so it's every 4 years is the frequency for the FOMC chair, and there's an article if you want to read more about him, and he is good buddies with Trump, so we'll see what happens. Trump is obviously going to push him to lower interest rates. So we'll see if that happens, and we'll see how markets react to that, okay? So that happens Friday, where Powell will be gone and Kevin steps in, okay? And earnings, guys, this morning we had Alibaba Group. I believe they're up 5-6% right now after their pre-market earnings. There's other notable names, no big names to mention. In the after hours, we have Cisco Systems. We'll be reporting at 4:05 p.m. Eastern, okay? We'll talk more about stocks, earnings, things like that when we do our stock and options call. So right now, stocks slide Wall Street as the PPI inflation comes in hot. April's wholesale inflation far outstripped expected readings, scrutinized for the Iran war's impact on the economy. Trump is going to China to visit Xi Jinping, and they've also invited NVIDIA's Huang CEO gets the last minute invite to Trump's China trip. So who knows what Trump is doing? Maybe he's going to make some money with NVIDIA over here. NVIDIA hit an all-time high and is up almost 3% today. So again, here's more articles about the PPI. U.S. producer prices rose far more than expected. Alibaba stock gains after the earnings report, and see Alibaba's up 6.5% right now due to great earnings. Walmart layoffs bring attention to reality about the retailer stock price. Okay, so Walmart, is now in the news about potential layoffs of their employees. Walmart has always been a staple in your community, and it's the go-to Walmart, dollar stores, things like that. So if they're starting to lay off employees, an alarm bell should be going off. Maybe they're cutting, maybe they're not doing as well as expected. And maybe consumers, you and I, are being a little bit tighter with our money and, putting things that we need, like food on the table, instead of buying fancy things at these stores, okay? And gas, oil and energy is up. $5 plus gas prices are starting to hammer low income consumers. So gas is not cheap, guys. They're going to be, and it's the summer holidays now. So a lot of families are rethinking travel, vacations, driving to weekend getaways and things like that, because it's going to cost a lot of money. So that could affect, guys, if you're thinking of like stock and options in the future, Caribbean cruises, airlines, if travel gets very expensive and things like that, maybe these it's a good time to look for puts on these companies and things like that. Okay. Okay, so that's the news. US dollar rises as inflation jumps. And then Trump and Xi Jinping talks begin. Okay, so US and China will be talking. Okay, so that's what we got going on. Let's continue moving forward. In our Discord, guys, I'm gonna do a top-down analysis on gold, but we might be looking, if still this came out early before 9 a.m. Maybe sells above or sells below 4775. I'll do the charting for us, and then we'll come back to this. Indices, there was a sell right here on US 30. We were looking for volume to get below 49,600. See, it kind of spiked up there. Big pin candle coming down after it swept this resistance liquidity and shooting star, and then moved its way down. Okay, so if you got in any of these, congratulations. And if you need some signals, trade ideas, we do provide those. Everyone on YouTube, I appreciate all of you guys joining. 150 of you guys. If you can join the free Telegram channel, it's pinned at the top of YouTube. This is the links. So we'll give you upcoming links of when we go on YouTube on a daily basis. So yesterday, we caught the sell on NASDAQ on our call, and then the trade signal on SST grabbed the rebound and caught the buy coming out of there. And I'll talk a little bit about that as well. Okay, guys? So you can get a little bit of the live sessions with myself, Dave, and everyone in the Discord. And then you can get a little bit more after the live calls with the trade ideas to help you throughout your day. Okay. And Dave also does the New York sessions Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays from 8 to 10 a.m. So he covers Colmex and Wall Street with the team over here and learning with Big Dave. Okay. And guys, promotions and all of that are all on this free Telegram. Join it. And if you want to join the team, then come over here at Stock Sniper Trading, and there's a 50% off discount for this week. Okay, so you get to join the premium group. You get the trade alerts, the trade ideas, the analysis, all of the education we offer, the Discord community, and much, much, much more. Okay, and you get 50% off. Use this code at checkout, SSTMay50. Okay, and free blogs are also available right over here in our blog section. Lots and lots and lots of blogs for you guys. Okay, and finally, guys, I appreciate everyone. Thanks everyone for joining. If you guys can hit the subscribe button, we do appreciate it. Like the channel. Hit the notification bell, and let's learn and earn together. Okay, let's get started. Gold. I'm going to do a top-down analysis. This is it. This is how it's moving on the 5 minutes. Some of you guys might be in a buy. Some of you guys might be in a sell. Some of you guys are on the sidelines. I don't trade until I do some sort of analysis because I don't want to just trade right now this candle, because all I can see is how gold has been trading since 6 a.m. This morning, but I have no idea how it's been trading yesterday, the week before. Is it near all-time highs? Is it near all-time lows? I have no idea. So that's why we have to do some sort of analysis and bring it down, back down to these 5 minutes. So I'll help us do that. If you guys want to learn, you're welcome to learn. And some of you guys already have the idea of how to do this. And some of you guys are adding your own little personal touch to it. And that's perfect as well. That's what we encourage here. You guys put your own little personal touch on it, and we'll kind of give you a little like a little base, and then you add what you're comfortable with. You can add your indicators. You can add any perspective you have and things like that, okay? And I do this for all securities. All time frames are the same, like daily, hourly, 5 minutes. It doesn't matter the session, nothing. We're just doing a top-down analysis of the specific security we are trading, okay? And thanks everyone on Zoom for joining. Welcome, guys. Justin, Dennis, Mike, Christoph, and everybody else, welcome, guys. And everyone on YouTube, thank you guys for joining as well, okay? Daily, let's get started. Oh, and one other thing, before I do gold, I just want to mention, remember NASDAQ, because I'm going to clear this because we're also going to do NASDAQ at top down. You remember this, guys? Okay, so we took the sell yesterday right here at 1220. It came down, came down, came down. On this bar, I took out 80% of my trade. And then as it came down here, right down here, I closed out the remaining 20%. And you guys remember, look at this. You guys remember how we figured out this white line? Does anyone remember from yesterday how we figured out this hidden block? And look at where it came down for 110 pips, precisely right there, and look at how it bounced back out for a buy, right? And then Dave and the SST signals, we caught the rebound and the buy out of there. So that's why when I'm saying, guys, when you're charting, you have to follow your analysis. See, if I got greedy and I never did anything after 110 pips, look at how it would have reversed on me. And if I didn't have a break even, I would have gave away 110 pips of profit, hit a break even, no win, no loss. But some traders don't even trade with a break even. Then it's coming after your stop loss, and now you're at a loss. So that's a major momentum swing and psychological in trading that demoralizes you as a trader. So we'll talk all about how I find these zones and things like that. And that's what I want us to learn, how to do this. And then, guys, if you continue to watch it, remember, I didn't change anything. This is how it was. Did blue candles close above this zone and invert it? Yes. So then you make a green and stretch it into the future. And you see when it came to the white line I know is hourly, the 5 minute bar broke through it and closed above. So it's making this white line now as static support. And here's now how it traded right up, came back down, held at those EMAs, came back up, double top up there, came back down. But you see it right there. It came and it retested that white line, and look at it bounced off of it, showing hourly support. And then there's the bigger move, taking out the double top up there on the 5 minutes and driving where? To the daily. And look at how it just hovered around the daily yellow line, kept building, and then diverged away from it. And where did it trade right up to? To the next daily yellow line. And that's where it came and got rejected. But you see, came back up, didn't really break down, no real black candles closing below structure. And then we drove right back up to the daily high up there, the all-time high. And that's when it started dropping from the all-time high. And now we're building our way back up. Maybe this afternoon, we're going to be retesting the all-time high. Okay. So this is what I do, guys. Now I get rid of everything. See how I removed all of my charting. Normally, I don't do this if I'm not on live calls with you guys. I keep all of those lines every single day. I'm trying to illustrate to you guys that they're static, and you can trade off of all of those locations Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, with an added alert at those locations. Does that make sense, guys? That's how I trade when I'm not trading with you guys. See now how I got rid of everything, and we're going to start a fresh analysis. You don't need to do this on a daily basis. You just have to do it once per week. Choose your day. The best day is maybe Sunday before the markets open, or early Monday morning, or Monday afternoon. And then you're set for the entire week on whatever security you trade and any specific time frame you trade, okay? So we'll do NASDAQ today too, but first let's start with gold, okay? So this is gold on the daily, right? I can start my analysis all the way up here at the all-time high, but we're trading right over, look, the last week we're trading right here. So even if I start doing my analysis on all the way up here, I don't think gold is going to drive up to the all-time high in the next 90 minutes, 2 hours of our call. Okay. So we really have to be realistic. We have to focus on this area. Okay. As much as I want to teach you guys from here, finding a zone, point of control, if you just watch a few of our live sessions with myself, you'll get the hang of how I do this. Okay. So I want to focus more on this zone. So let's focus what we got so far, what we can see, and what's clear to us. Okay. Are we all good, guys? Ready? Okay, so here we go. And I color code all of my timeframes. So I use yellow for any daily point of interest, okay? So see how I placed it right there? There's a body right there. And then there's impulse wicks above. So those impulse wicks I can make as a zone above me, okay? Very simple, nothing complicated. This is not some renowned strategy. It's just basic. So draw a line at the bodies, and then the wicks are showing impulse moves with no volume closing above. I've kind of trapped it. So if gold comes back up there, it could get rejected back down. If it might make an impulse move, just like this candle, make an impulse and then get rejected back down, just like this, just like that day exactly. Or it can make an impulse and then we close blue. We have not had that, right? There's no blue candle closing above the red box. So if we do get one, we're going to flip that red box green and maybe retest it, and then we're driving up to there, okay? So that's the same analogy for if we're on the hourly, if you're trading the 15-minute, if you're trading the 5-minute, if you're trading the 1-minute, same thing. If you're a 1-minute trader, you're probably going to have some zones as well, and you're waiting for a 1-minute candle to trade into that zone and figure out what's going on. So that's the beauty. When you learn this skill, you can apply it to any time frame you want. You just got to be comfortable with the time frame that you're trading. I know a lot of traders say, Ron, I want to learn scalping on the 1 minutes, but you got to accompany it with that proper mindset. You got to know, maybe you're in for 1 or 2 candles, you're in for 2 minutes, and that's it. And you got to understand that you're closing a trade in 1 or 2 minutes. Some traders don't understand that. They want to be in trades for hours upon hours, okay? And I'm not a swing trader, so I don't want to be in trades for that long, that duration, right? So you got to figure out what type of trader you want to be, okay? So we found a resistance. Now let's complement it with a green zone. Where can we place a green zone? We can place one right there. That's right. But then we just leave this little cluster of volume just hanging there. So let's bring it down right there, right? And see what I did? I just brought it to the lowest bodies, the pivot, and there's a zone right below it. See those 2 bodies and that wick right there? It's a zone. Look how easy that is. Bring it right to those bodies and right to that wick right there. See, I got a little bit above the yellow point of interest and I got a little bit below the point of interest. That's how you identify a zone. And then if you want to back test it, bring it backwards into the past, and then you see that black candle that came all the way down, it tapped into that zone and went right back up. If you bring it right over there, look, it's basically the point of control of that blue candle right there. And then it was a wick and a wick and a wick where it was a red zone there, okay? I can continue to do this all day on this call, but that's not what we're here for. Now what we're here for is once you identify the zone, your job, listen, we have a job as a trader. My job as a trader and your job as a trader is to extend this zone into the future because it's static, right? It's a block. Some of you guys say order blocks. How many of you guys have heard of order blocks, right? That's an order block. It's a block in the market where orders are pending. That's the most basic definition of an order block. I don't need to get institutionalized with you guys. I don't need to use big fancy words. It's a block in the market where pending orders are waiting to be executed. Does that make sense? That's a block in the market. Very, very simple and basic, right? We don't need to overcomplicate trading because it's already very, very difficult to trade as it is. And then if we start using institutional words and make it more complicated than it has to be, it's going to make trading that much more difficult. So let's keep it simple, okay? Another thing is now identify, look, I have a red block and a green block. Now what I want to do is figure out some points of interest in between these two zones now, because we're not trading at this zone and we're not trading at this zone. So we got to figure out, analyze what's going on in here the last couple weeks, okay? So obvious. Figure out the most obvious point. Does that make sense? Most obvious. To me, this is the most obvious pivot. And some of you guys are going to say, Ron, you're wrong. Okay, that's fine. This is my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. This is my opinion. To me, this is the most obvious pivot out of the below this red block and above this green block. And if you don't see that, okay, ask a question. Say why. Why is that the most obvious? Because look, when it was coming up, it came to the red block. When it was coming down, it stopped right there. Look, it stopped. It didn't come down to the green block. It stopped. And then it pivoted its way right back up. So I have another pivot right up there. Okay, so this is where, again, I'm drawing, look at my yellow lines. These are daily pivots. This is where there was an impulse, 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 impulse. I don't see any blue volume closing above there. I see it coming down now. This is where it was right there, stop. There's an impulse, impulse. I don't see any black volume closing below there. I see it coming up blue. So locate now alerts. Remember the alert system, what I said? Here at the green block, yellow line, right click, add an alert. I look at the number, it's a nice psychological number as well, 4,375. Here, yellow line, this pivot, it could be support in the future, static. So I don't know when gold is going to come down here, whether it takes 1 week or 1 month. When it comes down there, I will get alerted and it could be support to bring it back up, right? So I'm going to add an alert there, okay? It's nowhere near here, but an alert doesn't hurt. I'm going to add an alert up here. What if gold comes right back up to here? I'm going to add an alert. If it breaks that, we could be trading back into that red zone up there. I'm adding alerts. So I have 4 daily alerts now, and I can continue. Now I'm going to consolidate even more. I'm going to consolidate now in between this yellow line and this yellow line. You guys understand what I mean by that? When I'm going to now look for points of interest in between these 2 yellow lines now. Does that make sense? Guys, I need a yes, no, yes, no. That's how I educate. I need you guys to know that you're following me. And when I know that you're following me, then I know that you can do this. Okay? If you're saying no, 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 I have no idea what this guy's talking about, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be lost when you try and figure this out on your own. Okay? So now you hear that big fancy word consolidation, right? Consolidation is just, you're trying to trap the volume as much as possible. It's coiling up. It's accumulating. You've heard of that word of accumulation. Okay. So now look at what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing in between these 2 yellow lines. I'm not worried about the red zone. I've identified it. I'm not worried about the green zone. It's identified with an alert. life is good. Now what we got to do is figure out what's going on in between these yellow lines. So do we see anything now? So right here, basically, this is what I'm analyzing. This structure of the market right here. Is there anything worth noting inside here? Hell yeah, there is. What is there? Look, okay, there's a structural blue bar, okay? Remember what I say. Structural bars are very important, okay? Make sure you understand what is a structure bar. Break of structure. Some of you guys use that BOS model, okay? You got to understand what is a structural bar or candle, because these are the ones that we want to figure out points of control off of. And these ones had majority of volume concluding like the move, right? So you see here, there was resistance right there. Sorry, I'll make it so you can see this. Don't worry, guys, we will get to the lower time frames, but this is really important, okay? So you see right there, that was the resistance. You guys are familiar with a double bottom, okay? So it came down there, there's the resistance, double bottom, there's the impulse breakout, and the candle closed above, okay? So it closed above the structural candle, right? Did it close? It closed, look at the volume, follow the volume, volume, engulfed over all of this black downtrend. So to me, that's very important, okay? And what do I do now with that candle is this, okay? So, and I do this for all structural candles on all time frames, okay? Grab my Fibonacci tool, because there's a lot of questions about this all the time. Pay attention here. I grab my Fib tool. From the opening balance. Remember yesterday how important the opening balance was, because it saved us in that sell to get us down to our profit? That's why I don't go for the wicks, okay? That's just me. You can do what you want. But I started at the opening balance and I go right to the closing balance. So you see how I've plotted my Fibonacci from the open to the close of that big structural blue bullish candle. Now, see all the numbers it gives me with my ratios? Perfect. So what numbers am I really worried about? Right in here. This is the numbers I'm only worried about right here. The 0.5, the one below, above or below is either the 618 or the 382, depending if you have your Fibonacci reversed or not, okay? That's not the point is the numbers, it's the zones. That's more important, okay? So what do I do with that? The 50% is a yellow point of interest on the daily. I cut that candle in half. I just cooked some chicken upstairs and I got to cut that chicken in half soon because I'm starving and I got to eat. Okay. So we got to cut it in half right there. Look at the number. Does it complement your analysis? 4625. That's a nice psychological number. I'll take it. Okay. Now, the next thing that I got to do is I don't want just the 50%, the exact precision of the half. I want a little bit above and a little bit below. I want a zone. Right? Just like we did the zones down there. And this is called a point of control, a POC. This is where the majority of pending orders are accumulating and waiting to get executed. Okay, very simple. I complement it with a green box to suggest that it's a strong bullish candle. And if it comes back in here, it could be picking up buyers. Okay, so what I do is I identify it and I have a job to do. I stretch it into the future. Okay, everyone following? Because we're going to move down to the hourly and we're going to do the same thing. And then we're going to move down to the 5 minutes and we're going to do the same thing. So you see now, look at my chart, how beautiful it looks. Sexy. Look at this thing. Okay, so everything is identified, stretched into the future. I'm missing something. I'm missing. Who knows what I'm missing? We don't have all day on the call, so I'll tell you what I'm missing. I'm missing an alert at this yellow line. See how I'm consolidating it now more and more and more. Now look, guys. Okay, so we've consolidated now from this yellow line to this yellow line. So what I need to focus now on is the volume trading right here. You guys see what I'm saying? Okay, so now we don't have any structural candles. Now they're wishy-washy candles. A blue candle, a black candle came down Monday, start the week, and it came back up bullish. We had an impulse breakout yesterday, then it came all the way back down black, and then it came back up. So we have indecision. We have buyers and sellers accumulating in the zone. This is the worst area to trade. If this was 5-minute candles, I would say, guys, let's relax. Let's trap this and wait. But this is daily, okay? So you see how long daily candles accumulate, and eventually they're either gonna break out to there, to the red zone, or they're gonna break down to this yellow line, okay? It's just a matter of when's it gonna do it? Everyone, that's the question. Is it gonna happen today, tomorrow, next week? I don't know. I don't know how long the markets are gonna continue to accumulate. When they decide there's enough delta, negative or positive, you will see that the market will move in another direction, okay? So what I wanna do is now just analyze maybe yesterday's bar and today's bar. We've consolidated enough. Yesterday, we opened, it was bullish. Look, so they took out last Thursday's high. And where did we come into? Guys, this is where price action and analysis is so valuable when you learn. Okay, so remember now how I have my zones now. I don't think I've ever done this on any call in the last 6 years. So today is a really important call, guys. You guys are getting a lot of information right here. Now, see how I just have an impulse. What you have a quadrant here. A quadrant is another word for a zone. Ron's getting fancy with us. Quadrant. What the hell is this guy talking about? Quadrant. Why doesn't he just say zone? Okay, right there. You see the bottom of the red is a very important point of interest, and there's the yellow line. So anything in between here, we need to analyze. Look, do we have a structural black bar? I'm showing you guys. Now, when you're individually looking for bars, I do this on the 1 minutes. You guys can do this all day on the daily. Look, in between there is, did this candle, does it have more volume than all these others? Yes, it does, 2 to 3 times more. Did it close below the structure? Yes, it did. It engulfed that entire. So that candle right there that I'm circling is a point of control candle. It's a structural bar. The same thing I said about this blue candle, that's the same thing with that, but it's just bearish. So let's do this, and now I want you to see how things transpire. Watch. Grab your Fibonacci tool of this black candle. Remember, Ron said the opening price, drag it down to the closing price, okay? We got all of our numbers, same shit that we did. Now, what number do I want? The 0.5, right there. Look at the number. What number is it? 4770, okay? Nice. Is it the one exactly what I want? 75? No. Okay. But that's still close. And then a little bit above and a little bit below. And I make a red zone to illustrate the point of control of that candle. Stretch it into the future so I can see the next day it came in there. That zone, red zone, look, rejected, and then they pushed it down. So you got to learn this when you're scalping the markets, right? That's how we took our sell yesterday. Look at now when it came in. Now you're verifying. This is now you're back testing. You're back testing this bar, and now you're seeing last Thursday it was blue. Look at it. Came right again in that red box. And then the sellers pushed it right back down. Look again. Look at yesterday. It opened. It was blue, right in there again. And then look, they've rejected it down. So why stop with this red zone? Stretch it into the future. It's a static block in the market. Okay, so you see now how my consolidation is starting to get really consolidated in here. See what I got now? Now, okay, so for anyone that thinks gold needs to go to all-time high, let me show you how many levels or how many blocks there is in the market. You need to get above this block in order to get up to this block, okay? So some traders don't even know that there's a hidden block right here, and they think all of a sudden gold's gonna go to all-time high. No, it's got to get to this yellow line first. That's resistance. Then it's got to get to this block, and it's showing me it got rejected there yesterday. It got rejected there last Thursday, and it got rejected there on April 22. So that's like 3 triple tops up there. A lot of sellers are there, okay? And they're lowering it from this big red block, okay? So sellers are there, right? Buyers got to close it above here in order to move up there. And then I have it stretched in the future. If I want to add an alert in there, I can add an alert, but right now I'm good with this alert right here, okay? So now I want to follow that volume. Open blue, came into that red block, got the sellers, came all the way back down to the top of the green block, came all the way back up. Inside bar consolidation, 50-50, shitty candle. Buyers and sellers, no direction. Okay, now let's move into the close of yesterday and now the open of today. The closing of a bar and the opening of a bar is very important. I know a lot of you guys go drinking. You guys go to the bars. A lot of you guys go to happy hour. You know when your pub or your bar opens, and you guys know when your pub and your bar closes. To all the drinkers out there, okay? So same thing, but we're not drinking beer here. We're trying to make money here. So I want to know when the bar closes and the bar opens, because that's when I can make money, right? So you got to know that too. We're talking about a different bar. Not the bar, the pub where you eat chicken wings and beer and have fun with your friends. We're talking bars now, candlesticks, okay? And if you're Muslim and you don't drink, all good, no worries. There's non-alcoholic beer for you guys, but we're making pips now, okay? So closing, opening, that's a point of interest. Place an alert. Remember what I was telling you guys yesterday on the 5 minutes, how important the opening balance is? Why are we not doing it on the daily? There's my alert, okay? So 4-7-15. Now, was it bearish or bullish today? It was bullish. Blue, 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 blue. Did it trade right into 50% of that black candle yesterday? Possibly. How do I know? Grab your Fibonacci of that volume. Opening, closing. Where's 50%? It's right there. Look at it. It came blue, 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 right into that zone, right? You know there's a zone on every single candle. Every volume has a zone right there. You see? Sniper entry. Snipers, it's like a scope, right? You guys know what a sniper is, okay? There's your scope. It came right in there, right in there, right in there, and boom. You nailed it, right? You see, you could take a sell and then you shot that blue candle and look at, you fizzled it off and then it just went down. So it came in there right into that zone. You can clearly see it, okay? And the number, look at the number, 4-7-25. Like psychology with price action is priceless. That's why I don't use too many indicators. Everyone says, Ron, why are you not using this indicator? Why are you not using this indicator? Why are you not doing this strategy? Why are you not doing this? Because I don't need to do any of that, okay? I just need to follow this. That's it. It's as simple as that. And I hate trying to explain this, why I don't use indicators or why I don't do this, because this is more than enough, okay? So let's mark it. It came up blue, blue, blue. That's the highest point of the day. Now, what I do differently from yellow to illustrate the high and low of the day is I use a purple line, okay? So there it is, 47, 25, 26, right about that 50% of yesterday's volume. And you see how accurate the volume is, right? Look at the range and look at the candle, okay? It's not one of these big body candles. That's why I'm not really doing a point of control zone off of it, but I'm just showing you how accurate 50% is on any volume. That's like a spin top candle with shitty range and shitty volume, and it still respected 50% of it, right? So now it got rejected, and look at what we did. We came back down to the opening balance. Then the sellers took control and flipped the candle black, 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 and that's our lowest point right there, 4,670. Let's place a purple line. Now I look. Is it lower than this one? No. So it's actually a higher low from here, higher low. So we are now consolidating. Then the buyers brought it right back up, and this is where we're trading at right now. So we could come all the way back up to the yellow opening balance and potentially flip the candle as a hammer, and it will be blue, 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 and we come back to the high and see if we can get up to this yellow line or see if we can fill those wicks, right? Or the black volume is going to continue to come down and try and target the lowest point, right? But before it gets to the lowest point, there's a body and a body right there. So maybe if there's higher low support, I'm just going to mark it with a yellow line. 46.85, because if it comes black, 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 it might stop right there to protect the low wick of today and stop there, and buyers not then push it back up. So this is where we could be trading in this range for this session, right? So I'm basically done with my daily analysis now. But what I do now is I get like an overall snapshot of the entire pattern. So the pattern, you guys should be able to recognize this. It came all the way down, one bottom. All this cluster of this bullshit volume, down, up, it's one big bottom, right? So it's one big bottom like this, cluster of volume right there. That's one big bottom, okay? And then it came all the way up there to the red zone, okay? All this cluster, blue, black, it's one big top up there, okay? You can see it's like one big top up there. Is this making sense, guys? Please tell me it's making sense. And then you got the next leg coming down, right? Coming down, okay? We have another cluster of volume. Did it come all the way down to the double bottom? No, it stopped with a higher low at this quadrant right here, okay? Ron's using these fancy words again. Right there. There it is. See? Sorry, this is, I'm just trying to make everything consolidated so we can see, okay? So that's a higher low, right? Higher low. The buyers who bought this bottom that saved gold from breaking down are protecting their position by making a higher low and not letting it come down here. You see, there's no volume trading down here, okay? Now, where are we going? Okay, so the buyers now are bringing it back up, but you see, we're not coming back up to this quadrant right here because the sellers have stepped in from this bar right here on Tuesday, April 21 and said, nope, you're not going any higher. We're trying now to bring it back down to here or down to there. But the buyers are stepping in and see the big rejection on Monday this week, bringing it back up. Yesterday, the sellers tried, but then the buyers came in back and pushed it again. Today, it came down higher low and the buyers are there again. So we're stuck in here. And this is what we got to see. Will the candle flip blue and come back up here and try and break this? Or are the sellers going to come back down and fill these long wicks and break this and come down? Okay, that's it. That's the direction of the daily. Okay, you can see there's both buyers and sellers fighting. They're jockeying for position right here, and now we're in trading right in here, right? So where do you guys think we're going to go? How many of you guys think gold is going to be bullish, right? Do you guys think gold is going to be bullish? Or do you guys think gold is going to be bearish? And what I mean bearish and bullish, I'm not saying, don't think I'm thinking, is gold bullish to the all-time high? Is gold bullish just to get out of here and come up to here? That's it. Or is gold bearish to come from here to there? That's all I'm saying, because that's more than enough pips for us for a week, okay? I'm not asking you, is gold bullish to go to all-time high? That's not the question. I'm not saying, is gold going to sell to the all-time low? That's not the question. The question is, do you think buyers are going to break through here and get it up to there? That's it. Or do you guys think sellers will win down here? A lot of you guys are saying, okay, bullish, higher highs and higher lows, bullish. Even YouTube, bullish. Okay, so let's get rid of this bearish line. If we're all bullish, then we need to now go to the hourly and see some bullish support, some bullish activity. Okay, so let's do that. I love this. We're all on the same page right now. Okay, so we are saying bullish to get up here. So let's get off the daily now and let's bring it into the hourly and see now. The hourly will tell us if we're bullish or bearish. Okay, maybe you might even change your mind now when you see the hourly, but that's what analysis is. Okay, so I'm moving off of daily. If you guys learned anything on this daily analysis, hit the like and subscribe to this channel. Please, it helps me and it will help you. I'm telling you. Okay, so let's go to the hourly now. I can go to 4 hour or hourly or 2 hour or 3 hour. It doesn't matter. I prefer hour. All Indian gurus say gold is bearish till 2000. Well, shout outs to all Indian gurus. I love it. What's an Indian guru? You guys make me laugh. I'll bring an Indian guru on the call and we'll get their opinion. If anyone's an Indian guru, message us. You're welcome to come on the stream. Okay, hourly. What are we seeing? Okay, so for you guys that say bullish, there is an hourly rally right there. Okay, came all the way up to there. Look at it coming down. Did it come all the way down there? No, stopped right there. It came back up. Look at the double top on the hourly. Okay, so those hourly buyers, those Indian gurus, they tried to break through there and failed. And then now they're coming back down. And look at the Indian gurus who were selling right there, failed. And then that's coming back up. Look at the hourly now. The hourly is consolidating. I love it. Akim, you got it. Yeah. Look at now where the hourly is. It's trading right in here with the Indian gurus right here. There it is. Okay. So we're consolidating in here, right? We've got a big bullish hour candle coming up right now, but the last 2 hours were kind of really, really choppy. Okay. That was news and Wall Street and things like that. Okay. Now, we got to put this into perspective, okay? So look at how the hourly, do we see any structural hourly candles inside here? I see all shitty candles. Okay, I don't see, maybe this might be a structural hourly bar that's going to close in 15 minutes. It might close all above this. So let's look where we need to close above. Pivots, remember what I did on the daily? I found pivots. Here's an hourly pivot, okay? But I use a white line now because I know my yellow are dailies. White now is hourly right there. See how the body, I just have a wick, a wick, a wick, a wick, a wick, a wick, a wick. I don't see any blue volume. This might be our structural hourly bar that's coming through here, okay? And we're getting, look at this big liquidity grab on Tuesday at 11 a.m. So it came black, 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 swept these lows down in here, right to our green zone, came right back up. So it picked up a lot of pending buyers there and brought it right back up and then failed. Look at rejections, shooting star, bringing it down, coming back up to the daily, lower highs, pushing down, okay? So very bullish right now with this candle. I can't do anything until this candle closes in the next 14 minutes, right? So we'll wait for this thing to close. What I'm saying is it could be a structural bar. If it closes above this white line, that's a candle. I'm going to grab my Fibonacci, open, closing price, figure out 50% and the hourly point of control. Because if the 5-minute candles come trickling down into there, maybe I want to buy the pullback out of that volume, okay? So I got to wait 13, 14 more minutes for that thing to close, okay? So now I go into the 5 minutes, and if we're trading 5 minutes, this is what we see. I love it. 5 minutes are trading really nice today, okay? They're not just trading sideways. Look, they're going down, they're going up, they're going down. Here it was getting ugly inside here at 10 a.m. Then it came back up, then it's going back down, then it's coming back up. It might come back down, right? So there's good scalp moves. Like if you measure each one of those legs, like from there to there, that's 200 pips, not bad. If we measure this leg coming up right here, that's 150 pips, not bad. This leg coming down, another 200 pips. This leg coming up right there, 150. So you see, each leg that we're getting is about 100 to 200 pips. This bearish leg coming down, another 150 pips. This bullish leg that's coming right back up, look, might be more than 200. Yeah, almost 250 if we get up to there, okay? So if you're a scalper, this is scalper's paradise, right? But if you're holding sells and you're looking for 1,500 pips, look, it comes down nicely, 200. We measured it, then it came back up, then it went back down. You're looking for more, then it came back up. You're looking for more, and now it's going against you. And then you're wondering what's going on. Well, scalpers have already hit their daily goal because they've been just playing this like an accordion, up and down, okay? But do we see any 5-minute structure? Okay, so let's look in between here. Now we're trading between the yellow and the hourly line. So I can see some 5-minute structure right there. There was a pivot where the market came down and it stopped. It went back up to the hourly, came back down. There's a bar that closed below that red line, right? See it closed below and then it used that as resistance on the retest. There was a selling opportunity. Then it came right back up. Look at that bullish candle closed above and look how they faked out the buyers. Remember what I tell you guys, candles have a job to do. Did it open and break that wick? No, it didn't. And then it came flushing down and then it came back up into about the point of control and then flushed down. So that was a fake out right there, okay? You can see clearly how they faked out the buyers right there. Then they sent it back down. We've been building. Now we have a nice strong bullish candle closing above. So you see the red line from that pivot is now acting as support down here. If it gets down here, okay? It would be better to buy at the yellow line as opposed to the red line because the red line is just representing 5-minute structure. The yellow is daily structure. The white line is hourly. So the higher the time frame, the more respect you should give it, okay? Now, what's going on, okay? So we had a head and shoulder back over here, okay? You can see when it came in, back down. The head broke out to the hourly, then it came back and closed, and then they shot it down. So we're trading again right at that head and shoulder resistance right there. Okay. So, and look at the number 4,700 on the dot. Okay. So we're trading now. If you want to scalp now between the red lines from there to there, it's about 60, 70 pips, right? So if you get the blue move coming up, you're getting about 70 pips. If it comes all the way down and you're in a sell, you're going to get about 70 pips. If it goes halfway, it's about 35, 40 pips. If we continue breaking out from here, we're going to the hourly, maybe breaking out further. If we break out above the hourly, there's my next big 5-minute pivot in the market. And I can look, it stopped right there. I can go now look backwards. Look at, there was wicks there. Look at how it was structured right there for the M pattern. Okay, so you got to look also backwards. He talks sense, but he never see a trade taken. Yesterday we took a trade. Oh. You got to talk in order to get into a trade. That's my, okay, right there. Telstar. How do you want to get into a trade without even analyzing, right? I take my time to analyze because there's people that want to learn, okay? Okay, so NASDAQ. Forget analyzing, guys. Let's get into a trade, okay? Right now, I'll get into a live trade on NASDAQ with no analysis, okay? Let's do this. Let me just look at my spreads real quick. Let's see what happens. What's my spread here? Should be 0.8. It is. Okay, so with no top down on NASDAQ, all I can see is, let's see, right here's a top, 4 a.m. Real quick, no analysis, nothing. Just 5-minute top right there. There's black candles coming down. Black candle, black means sell, okay? So I'm going to go into a sell. My stop loss, I'm going to put above that red line, and I'm going to look to come down to right here, okay? So I'm in a sell right now on NASDAQ with no analysis. I just see a resistance and black candles. So let's go for it. Let's see if we can aim to fill those wicks and get 50 pips. This is for Telstar. It's probably an Indian guru. Let's see what happens here. So how much risk to reward? I'm getting a 1 to 1.4. Okay. Oh, I'm in money. What is it? 15 pips? Let's see. Let's try for 20. If we can get 20 and see if we can get it. This candle's closing in 3 minutes. So we got some time on this candle. I'd really like to see if we can get down to that pivot right there. That pivot is 29,228. Let's see. Good, 20 pips. I'm going to go to a break even. Break even. So I have no capital at risk. I'm just playing with the profit right now. Okay, so if it comes back, it's going to be a break even, but I don't want to have any risk in a trade with absolutely no analysis. Just seeing a black candle and just going for a sell. Because I saw the top, I saw that blue candle did not break that wick. It came down, it closed below the point of control. I saw no wick and it's popping, so it's dropping. That's it. You want a quick scalp? That's a quick scalp. I don't normally trade like this without analysis, but we had to prove to Telstar that we do trade. So let's see now. I'll verbally let you guys know when I get stopped at break even. And then I got to learn, why did I not take out 25 pips out of the market? So let's see. This is closing in 90 seconds. But if I'm a scalper, a good scalper, 20, 25 pips, I would have been in and out of that bar. But this is the problem with holding when you're trying to hold a trade. See, that would have been a perfect scalp. Perfect. No drawdown, in the money, boom, get in, get out. But If we're looking for a complete move, you got to wait for a bar to close. I don't want to have any risk at all in this because it's a trade that I don't normally take like this. But we had to prove to Telstar that we do trade. So I'm still in by a hair. We'll see if I get stopped out here. That's it. So I got break even. That's it. That was a trade. So Telstar, there was a trade for you. Subscribe to the channel and learn next time, okay? Subscribe to this channel. You secured $10 thanks to the Indian Guru strategy. Awesome. Okay, so that was a trade. You guys are here for trades. There's a trade, okay? Now, let's go back to what we're doing here on gold. Okay, so gold now is inside here, okay? So I can let gold do whatever it wants in here. It could come up, it could go down, it could come back up, it could break, could be a fake out, all this could be a fake out up there, and we're trading in here. I don't mind waiting, okay? But what I want to see is, can we start to close above here to get up to here, or is it going to send it back down? So there's a trend that's showing me it's coming up right now. Let's add some fancy indicators for Telstar to show them we use indicators. 9 EMA, we're above the 9 EMA. 200 EMA, we're right at that 200 EMA. I hate trading when volume is right at these two indicators together and we're inside here. Let's look at our daily bar, add some higher time frame perspective. This is the 4-hour candle, which opened at 10 a.m. is going to close at 2 p.m. I know that because I know my 4-hour bars as well when they open and close. Country without analysis, are you sticking to your rules? No, obviously not. I don't trade without analyzing. I was just showing that for the guru. But look, it worked out perfect. If you're still in, congrats. You're probably going to break that pivot. You might fill. It might be that 50 pip trade. But if I had to, I've seen a lot of price action. Why I decided to sell and not buy, but I saw a big blue candle ignited. See how quickly you got to kind of think and react? See the wick? And then I can see where that candle opened. See, remember what I always say, the candle has a job to do. Why didn't that candle open blue and fill that wick? See the big sellers? Did that black candle close below 50% of that blue candle? I was eyeballing everything while I was doing this. And then as it came down, I saw closed with no wick. This one again opened and didn't even test into 50% of that. And as soon as it was coming down, I said, guys, I'm selling, right? So I was in the sell. And then it went right down into the money, 25 pips, and it came back up. But then that's when I took my stop loss to break even, and then I got stopped out. But if you stayed with it, it continued to close. Hanging man, again, short wick, didn't even trade into 50%. You could have a trailing stop loss and pushing down, filling the wick. And now, if you get a closing bar, you might have a black structural bar closing. That's a candle that you can find the point of control off of this candle. See what I mean? Sometimes as scalping, I don't need to do a top-down analysis. However, the top-down is to place alerts, but I could just scalp the shit out of this stuff, okay? That's what I do. I scalp individual candles, right? But I know I'm in for 1 or 2 bars. So I don't really need to know what the daily bias is. I don't really need to know how gold or NASDAQ was trading last week. I'm not trading off of alerts. I'm trading real bars, bar by bar. I'm a scalper. That's a different story, but I do all the top down for you guys to help get you guys situated with good charting, have you guys static levels, to wait patiently. You guys don't got to do what I do. I'm a guru, okay? I'm a guru. What the hell is a guru? Oh my God. We have too much fun on these calls. And we're going into noon in 1 more minute. So momentum could change. Okay. So let's see. Is anyone still in this, or is it just Telstar? Telstar, did we do good or no? Hit the likes on YouTube for Telstar. Subscribe to the channel for Telstar. He got us into that trade, right? Telstar, thank you. You made the team some money. But that's, okay, education, guys. So if you want to learn price action, okay, this is me now being Ron. This is me being serious with you guys. No more joking around. Did you see how I read that real quickly? And I took a scalp sell and it went into profit right away. Okay. It's not just because I was guessing. I'm telling you what I saw. I saw the blue candle, right? I saw when it came down, that black candle did not close and get a wick at that and push back up right away. When I saw, when I was talking with Telstar, he said, do I trade? I was already analyzing this in my head to get into a trade to prove to him. And that's what I base my trading off of, okay? So this candle did close. Look, this is everything I teach, okay? So this is, did it close below all of that structure? Yes, it did. There's a little bit of black volume. So this is a structural bar. So what you can do with this one is do your, what I do, right? Grab your Fibonacci. Look at 50%, okay, if you, right there. Find the point of control of that 5-minute bar. Okay, so see, like scalpers don't need to know what's the daily bias. You can trade candle by candle, but it's still, I could, if I didn't do a top down, I don't know. Maybe this is a daily point of interest. I have no idea, right? So that's why it's good to do a top down, okay? So you see now that black candle, black, did not take out that low. So it's a higher low, higher low, higher low. Buyers are coming in and now it's coming in blue to transact now. Let's see what happens in that point of control. It could get inverted now, or it could come back down. This candle still has 4 minutes to go, okay? But the initial reaction is it came right in there and the sellers pushed it right back down. Look at it. So they're pushing it right back down, right in that exact zone, guys, okay? The candle still has a long time, okay? But you saw the initial reaction, how it came in there, and then it got rejected down, okay? Now, you got to sit with this candle for the next 3.5 minutes to figure out the closing price. Buyers are still buying. It's not breaking down. If it does close above, okay, let's say it closes blue above here, then this point of control is negated as a red zone. It's still a zone, still a point of control of a bar, but then it turns maybe possibly to green on a pullback, and then buyers are taking it back up to reclaim these positions up here, okay? I'll come back to NASDAQ and I'll do a full top down, but we're going to focus on gold here. And we're now at noon. So a new hourly candle. So you can go to your hour. Now, remember what I was saying? We were going to follow that hourly gold candle and we were going to see if it was going to close above this body. The answer is no. Look at it. It came up there and got rejected right there. The volume is below that. So this technically is not meeting my requirements of a structural bar. You can cut it in half, but it's not like a point of control candle. If it closed above those bodies, I would tell you, but it's not. Okay? So we're still technically in this flag right here in between these red lines on the 5 minutes. And buyers look like they could be breaking it out. Okay, so you see that point of control just held for the initial minute and then got rejected. That's why it's important to also wait for bodies to close. So now it's a big blue bar coming right back up, okay? And then when it closes, you might invert that. But that was a push down, right down to those bodies, and that's it. It's in an uptrend, right? It's coming up. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, came down, higher low. It came back up, higher high. That was 3 bars coming down, black bars, but then higher low, higher low, higher low, and then buyers are right back there picking it right back up. So you got to know when you're scalping, are you counter trading? Are you trading with the trend? What are you doing, right? Okay, so we're in this parallel channel right now. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Let's see if we can break out for a new higher high or get some closing volume above here on gold. Is anybody in a trade on gold right now? We're trading right around 4,700, right around here. A lot of you guys are in long. Oh, wow. Sergio, you were in at 80, got out at 4,700. Nice. Okay, and if you want to trade on impulse, it is building, and a candle could impulsively break out of here, but it did right there where it was bullish impulsively and then got rejected back down, closed as a spin top, and then sold off. Okay, so maybe if it clears this, we want to see what will happen at the white line. White line is more important. It's hourly resistance. So again, it got rejected right there. So there is resistance. Sorry, Alex, what does it mean when it's floating spread on prop firms? Floating spread it's like another name for like variable spread. It just it's not fixed. Like I told you, I have a fixed spread with NASDAQ, like 0.8 and 1.2 with US 30. So they're fixed. No matter if it's volatile or if it's calm, if it's consolidating, I have a fixed spread. Variable or floating means it fluctuates in real time. So if there's news, you'll see that the spread widens and gets it's not good for trading. And then as the markets calm down, the variable spread will come and tighten up, and then you get a better spread. So it's constantly moving. It's not fixed like how I have. So that's the difference. Is when you see it then being very fluctuating, then you know that there's some sort of volatility, and it's probably not the best decision to be trading at that time until the spread calms down. Then you get better trading environment. So does anyone else have floating spreads or variable spreads when they're trading, or do you guys have fixed spreads for some securities? Not for all securities. It's for some securities. I tend to not like to trade myself when my spread gets higher than usual, because then I use market executions, and then when I place a trade in. I don't get my desired fill. There's that big spread, and then I'm starting the trade in more drawdown than I anticipated. So it's not good, especially for a scalper. Okay, so maybe we'll do a top down on NASDAQ on our next call when we do some more stocks and things like that, because I'm going to be talking about NASDAQ and what it's comprised of and things like that. So maybe we'll save some analysis for our next session in the next hour when we're just talking about stocks. All right, now let's focus on gold here. Okay, so gold now is going to close in 20 seconds. Okay, so it kind of just peeked its head above this resistance. Will the volume follow and close above there, or is it going to close within here? Notice the size of the wick. If it closes, it could be an ignited bar opening and continuing to drive with this bullish momentum. Okay, so pay attention to that as well. Okay, there's the impulse right near the close. That was the impulse breakout. Okay, so see this could be the cut line like this, where it was previous resistance, the red line, the blue volume pushed out impulsively and did confirm close above. So we could be waiting to test a pullback buy at this 4,700. Right now it didn't come down. It just flashed a little bit and then went back up. Okay, so if we're looking for a potential pullback buy around here, we got to wait for the volume to naturally come down here. It's not coming down right now, okay? It's continuing to target, make highs, maybe trade up to this hourly resistance. Okay, and the only thing that I'm saying is that this used to be, look, resistance right here. Okay, I'll even make it red. It was resistance, okay? So this blue candle that broke through has now made that red resistance into green support momentarily, okay? Maybe it will hold, maybe it won't, but that's what we talk about, a break and a retest opportunity. Okay, so now it's coming down to potentially retest this area. That's just the retest, but obviously it's better to get a deeper pullback in here, but sometimes it just retests this and we don't get a deep pullback. So now it's trading at the retest. Okay, so it got retested. It's a spin top candle. Maybe if it comes back to the opening price and turns blue, I could potentially look to take a buy. But you see, when it came back to the opening balance, it's black. So now it's right there again. So it turned blue, a little bit black. So it's the spin top, 50% indecision. Coming back down. So let's see how many times will it hold here. So this is the second attempt it's coming down there. It's got another wick in there. So every time it comes down there, holds, gets wicks, it could be picking up pending orders, but it could also be a false breakout. Now it could be coming down black, black, black. Maybe it closes below here, then it's still a red zone, and then it looks like a fake breakout, and then it could continue to come down even more bearish. Okay, and we got 2 more minutes to go into the close. Okay, so you see now it's breaking down in there, coming back up. Will the volume still close above or below it? Will it consolidate here? 2 minutes to go into the close. Okay, so you see how many times it's been holding in there, holding. Okay, now it's coming back up. So it's still, you can see the literal spin top candle. Okay, so it flipped. I'm going to go in a buy now. It's had 3 or 4 attempts at the retest down there. So I'm going to look to see if we can move up to the hourly and see what happens up there. And ultimately, if it can break that and get up to that red line. Okay. So for stop loss now, I'm in the buy. Okay. So there's nothing I can do now. I'm in. So now it's, where do I want to place my stop loss? Do I just want to be right below the wick of this candle? I'll probably get stopped out maybe on the next bar if it doesn't move. So do I want to be right below there? I've got the EMAs crossing over down there. So maybe I want to be below those EMAs and be below these bodies right here. Okay. And then to see if my reward can come back up there. Okay. So it retested 3 to 4 times, I believe, and held, but we have this spin top candle. Okay. So it's indecision. Buyers, sellers, buyers, sellers, buyers, sellers. So we're consolidating. Will it consolidate with this uptrend and continue with buying volume to continue come up, or sellers could push it down? And that's my maximum risk, because if it can't hold this, then it could essentially break all the way down to here. And then we got to see how the candle is going to close with 5 seconds. So we got a bullish pin bar. Okay, so can we now open ignited? No, it's bearish ignited. So bearish ignited is very strong opening bearish coming down. So can we get support right at around just above the opening balance of that? We got it. Okay, so we got some support right above there. So the job is to fill that wick and drive to the white line, right? And then I know we're at hourly resistance. So I like to measure from my entry to the white line. That would be about 30 pips up there. That's where I could reduce risk if I like. And then breaking out impulsively would be about 50 pips. And to get to the full target would be about 75, 80 up there. And it's a new 15-minute candle as well. It's 12:15. And it's not easy to break an hourly resistance. Okay, it's not easy. So we need that higher time frame volume to come through. Okay, so it got rejected just right below that hourly resistance. New resistance is 47.03, below 47.04, so it got rejected. So it could come all the way right back down and, retest this green location. However, we could build higher lows. As soon as it gets back to the opening balance, there is some buyers still buying. Again, it's like a spin top candle, but we got to go through with it and see how it will close, how the body will essentially close. Remember, the first one was a spin top, came back down, and then near the end, it closed strong. So maybe we'll get that momentum too on the close, nearing the close of this candle. But if you're looking for like 25 pips, remember the NASDAQ went 25 pips, this went 25 pips, could have opened, closed those trades, maybe grabbed 40, 50 pips and been on your way for your goal for 100. That's like what scalpers look for, is just quick moves in and out, but you have to have good spreads, what we were talking about, variable spreads, fixed spreads, things like that, okay? So that's a big rejection now, and it's got black volume coming down. So now we got to see, will it continue to maintain this supporting zone, this green box right here, or will it break through? Will it close below this? Okay, so there's another retest of it. So as it's retesting, there's pending orders there as well. And it's right at that psychological 4,700. So that's that block in that market where it's a lot of orders. There's sell limits, sell stops, buy limits, buy stops. There's a lot of orders right here at 4,700. So we got 2 good wicks, but now we got to push that black volume and close again, either with some indecision or flip the candle blue, because if this black volume engulfs that, the next bar technically could be a black bar coming down to fill those wicks and drop even further down. So in a situation like this where I see the black volume coming down, I'm going to take my stop loss and start reducing my risk to the bottom of this blue body. Okay, I don't want to be all the way down there. So I've reduced my risk where I can't lose as much if it comes down there, because there is sellers. I see them present. They are pushing it down, but we're still holding. So I took my stop loss. Remember, I was originally below this wick, and now I brought it all the way up to below that body. So I've reduced my risk by over 30 pips. The reward is still intact, but I've just reduced my risk just watching the current volume. And we're closing now in 15 seconds. So I'll verbally let you guys know when I get stopped out. I'm just right below that body right there. Okay, so close right at the zone. Okay, so not the close that I wanted, right? A lot of bearish volume. So the sellers could technically push it down, and I don't want to take on any unnecessary risk. So that's it, maximum risk for that. And then we got to see if it can continue to build here at 4,700. So you can see that there is buyers and sellers right here. Big battle, but you see a lot of orders are placed at 4,700. So that's when I talk about the psychology of the blocks in the market, right? And then it was the previous resistance turning to support, still at that 4,700. We need buyers to continue to maybe engulf. So even these 5 minutes have now a point of interest right there. So we're getting volume, but we need to continue to fill that wick and get a new high, or close engulfed above this red line, because it's still a lower high and lower high. Sellers could exhaust this volume and bring it right back down. It is pushing nice, but we still have 3.5 minutes to go, and there's still a lot of resistance up here. We're trying to break hourly resistance right at 47.0405. It's not easy. So you need buyers to start asking. We got good bidding, like asking down here, but we need to ask up here to be trading, to move this. And then we're barcoding blue, black, blue, where it's in a bullish flag. That's what I want. In a buy, I would like a bullish flag to continue to accumulate and potentially break out. But I recognize that there is sellers here, and they are producing lower highs right below the hourly resistance. So it's a tough situation to be in for both buyers and sellers. Two more minutes to go. Double bottom from the 1 minute. Okay, that's good analysis. So traditionally, a second bottom should have more volume. So if you're telling me that, then the 5 minute candle should maybe technically fill that wick and start to break out. Good observation. I like that. So you can tell me what's happening on lower time frames. I understand what's happening on the higher time frame on the 5 minute. But let's see. Yeah, double bottom. 1, there's the resistance, double bottom. So 1 minute, if the double bottom sticks, should be breaking that, and we should get an impulse break above that white hourly line. So let's follow it on the 5 minutes to see if we can get that. Okay, 1 more minute to go into the close. So if we can close with some good volume above that hourly, we could potentially build off this candle. The red line could be, there's a nice break. Okay, so that's an impulse for us in our situation, running 50 pips. Okay, so the impulse, that double bottom on the 1 minute, you were absolutely correct about that. That's the volume now redistributing to the upside for 60 pips. Okay, I'm going to go to a break even now. Okay, it's break even time. And if it reaches that red line, it's target, right? To this body's right over here, because there, target, okay? I'm going to take out 80% up there and leave the rest run with 20%. That's 80 pips. That's my daily goal, guys. And then you see the reaction we got right at that red line because there was a previous reaction right there and a previous reaction right there. That's why I just told you guys I'm comfortable taking 80% out at that red line. And I don't care what would have happened, what should have happened, or what I don't care, right? Trade to targets, right? That's it. It met my requirements. Remember what I told you? That's how I managed my risk. So I had the original stop loss down there. That black candle came down. I saw how it was developing. I took my stop loss and I put it below the body of this candle. Yeah, it encountered some drawdown, right? Some trades have drawdown, about 25 pips of drawdown to get 80 pip reward, okay? So, and now you got a bullish ignited candle. We got volume closing above the hourly. So if it pulls back, maybe our hourly white line will be momentarily support for this. But I have 20% running now and 80% was taken out, okay? So you guys got that? So we educate and we do trade on these calls, okay? We're not gurus like you guys, but we try our best. And if you guys want more and more and more pips, that's your perspective, okay? That's good. That's up to you. That met my requirements, okay? I got bills to pay my house. You don't pay my bills, okay? So I got to take the money when I get it. Got to go buy some chicken. Boom, you're coming in at the right time. You just got in and daily goal done. Boom, you're killing it, man. Congratulations. You recognize the tweezer bottoms. I recognize that too, but I didn't say anything. Glad that you recognize that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Right here. See those tweezer bottoms? 4698.6767. Right there. Look at it. Tweezer equal lows. That candle opened black, 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 but didn't break that equal. That's why my stop loss was right below there. Who said that? Few Fujivabitha. Okay, nice name. Sorry if I butchered that, but you're absolutely correct. So that's why it's important to learn what are equal lows, equal highs, tweezer bottoms, tweezer lows, because the buyer said, nope, we're not allowing it to come down. We're protecting this. And that's where that big blue candle came from. Okay, and look at what the retest is now of the white line. White line was hourly resistance. Now it's acting as momentary support. So maybe this candle could continue to fill and break out. And then we have a daily point of interest at 47.14. That's important. What daily point of interest is that? Go to your daily. That's the opening balance right there. Imagine that. Imagine all this volume flips and comes back up to the opening balance, 47.14. So that's what runners are for, or if you're continuing to hold your trade, I hope we get to the opening balance that could turn into 130, 140 pips. Tartar, Telstar, do we have your respect? Well done. Okay, thank you, bro. I didn't want to call you out. Okay, it was just, it was in the heat of the moment. I know you have good intentions. I apologize. Okay, I apologize to everyone on YouTube, but we do trade. Okay, we don't just come here just to talk and talk and talk. I talk to help you guys with the mindset, with the analysis. I love to trade. Believe me, I'm a scalper. Probably I trade more than all of you guys combined in this entire call here. But I'm here to teach and learn. That's why I'm here. I'm not here to trade live. I don't really care to trade live. I trade live for myself. I get more enjoyment with how that gentleman said he identified tweezer bottoms. I know he probably learned that from one of our calls. And that's showing you how price action reacts when you acknowledge and learn something, right? Some traders have no idea right now what are tweezer bottoms, okay? So that's why I talk. Explain things as they happen so you can learn, so you can do this for yourself and not just go on every bounce from YouTube channel to YouTube channel and beg the trader for buy and sells. Don't you want to learn this for yourself? Okay. Guys, can we get some likes on the stream? Can we get some subscribes? We have a couple hundred people on the call. We've taken 2 good trades, in my opinion, and we managed our risk. We did well, and 400 viewers, and we've got 136 likes. Like that, I'm gonna turn YouTube off. That doesn't, for 400. I'm into math. I know math. If there's 400 people and there's only 136 likes, that's less than 50% of you guys enjoyed what we just did here. Then go to another channel and see what they can do for you, because then I'm not inspired to be here, right? This is all free education, free knowledge. We're trading with you. We're trying to help you guys make some money, and there's no respect back. It's mutual. I'll go on Zoom and we'll do stocks, guys. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. In a little bit, guys, we're gonna do a stock. I just want to do it with the Zoom. First session is gonna be with the guys on Zoom. I don't want to get distracted. I just want to do an intro call with you guys. I know you guys are a little bit more focused, but tomorrow, guys, YouTube will come back and we'll do some Forex. Same time, 11 a.m. First session, I just want to have a private with the guys and just go over a few things, what we're gonna do, kind of explain what we're gonna do with our stock trading and education. It's like kind of a little intro just to help you guys out. But I was going to do it on YouTube, but we'll save that for once we get settled in, and we'll come back on YouTube for that. I can only deal with so many headaches in one day. And then I know what is going to happen. I know when we go to the stocks on YouTube, then everyone's going to say, Ron, why are you not doing Forex? Gold. And then I'm going to get distracted, and then just not the time right now. Wow, NASDAQ is really moving. Really moving. Guys, are we at all-time high? No, almost. Holy shit. There's our all-time high. 29,391, 40 pips away from the all-time high. Holy shit. What a run. Look at NASDAQ, how crazy this thing is. It's gone parabolic. Holy shit. These are daily candles. Oh my God. Starting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32 candles. Straight parabolic uptrend. Massive overbought and still driving. Tech. Wow. New Fed chairperson coming in might stimulate these markets, print some money, and put it into the markets to continue to drive these. Holy shit. How many of you guys think we're going to break all-time high today? Wow. This is I'll show you how far away we are from it right here. Here it is. There was equal high, double top, tweezer tops at the previous all-time high. Here it is. There it is. Came in, pushed back down, came in again, equal highs, tweezer tops, shooting star candle. That's a great selling opportunity. When I see that, I love that. Like, you gotta know what you're looking for. It's like playing a video game. When you put the pieces of a puzzle together, you should know exactly what you're looking for, and then it will make more and more sense. It came in right there, came back down, came in, there's the M, and then you have more strength with a tweezer top, and then there's the drop. If you missed it, that's a structural black bar. First thing you should be doing is figuring out the point of control and cutting it in half. And if you did that, there's the candle, blue, 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 right into it and drop. Could have sold, stop loss above here, made some pips coming down. And then look at when it came right back up, right into that exact red line, it's static, and then held, lower high, lower high, lower high, slammed it back down. And now we closed above it, and now we're pushing. From here, there's the all-time high. Very, very close. Holy shit. Okay, guys, I just have that 20% break even running at right there, break even. So hasn't triggered me yet. I'll let you guys know when I get triggered, but I'm thankful, I'm happy that I took out 80% of my position up there, and then I don't play the would have, should have, could have game, okay? I've changed my mentality years ago. S&P just made a all-time high. Thanks, Kwiku, for that information. That's awesome. So maybe NASDAQ is going to follow, and then US 30 is kind of the lagger behind. But yes, Woody, you heard Powell's last day is Friday. You're absolutely correct. So you wanted to ask, does having a new chair somehow affect the market mechanics, like the way it moves? Yeah, absolutely. If you get more of a dovish chairperson who likes to lower interest rates, then we'll have a bullish market. If you get more of a hawkish chairperson who likes increasing interest rates to tame down inflation like we had a decade ago, then markets will sell off. So this is a great opportunity, guys, to learn all about trading, because if we get a new chairperson who's Donald Trump's big buddy and we'll listen to him and lower interest rates, it's great for, you know, it's not good for inflation and things like that, but it's good for traders, because more and more money, they're going to print trillions of dollars. And where's that going to go? It's going to go into the markets, and it's going to artificially pump the markets. That's what we call money two, money three supply will be coming in. And, you know, I thought there would be a healthy pullback, and then they announce the new chairperson, and then they buy the dip and bring it right back up. But right now, we're just talking right now, markets are all-time highs. So maybe there is no dip. Maybe they're just going to continue to pour money in and squeeze the short sellers who are trying to short the markets right now, and they're getting destroyed. Like that guy, Michael Burry, who shorted the markets in the subprime financial crisis, and he's been shorting NVIDIA since it was below $100. NVIDIA's trading now at what, 235 all-time high? He is getting slaughtered right now. Imagine trying to short NVIDIA. Yeah, 220, 227 today, all-time high. In the last in the last 5 years, it's up almost 1,600%. Okay, and he's trying to short that security right now. Okay, guys, just some little day-to-day news over here. We have the 30-year bond auction coming up in, what do we got, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30-year bond auction. Yesterday, we saw the 10-year bond auction come in and higher, okay? So what that does is maybe it's going to attract foreign investors to buy bonds and get a good yield, a good return, maybe safer place to buy some treasury bonds, get a good yield, So we'll see what happens. But this could increase short-term interest rates, but we'll see what the monetary policy says. So we have a 10-year yesterday, and today is the 30-year will be coming out. If you're going to continue to trade in the Tokyo session or after hours, careful. Tomorrow's Thursday. Look, there's a lot of bank holidays starting in Switzerland. UK will be busy, a lot of low impact news, French holiday, German holidays. So if you're trading DAX, if you're trading anything to do in Europe, maybe take a break, day off tomorrow, or come into New York. New York is going to be a little bit more going on. So it doesn't stop. We have high impact news, core retail sales now month over month. What do you think retail sales? Do you think retail sales, you and I are retail, do you think we're spending a lot of our money or we're being more conservative? Look at the numbers from the previous month, 1.9. Look at the forecast, drop to 0.7. Look at the retail sales, 1.7 to 0.5 drop. You know that core means something. Core means change in total value of sales at the retail level, excluding automobiles. The next reading, retail sales, will include automobile sales. We have our unemployment, weekly unemployment claims tomorrow morning as well. And in mortgage delinquencies, there's probably going to be a lot of mortgage delinquencies. I know here in Canada, there's a lot of delinquencies in mortgages right now because mortgage rates are pretty high right now in the 4 or 5% range. And a lot of renewals have been coming in since COVID, where everyone bought their homes, paid $100,000, $200,000 over with bid wars on their homes. They got free money from the banks, and now it's all coming up for renewal. And now they're scratching their head saying, I can't afford this. So we'll see what's happening with this. And this is all around the world. It's not just here in Canada or US. And then you got some FOMC speakers. And then Friday, guys, light day in the markets, but big news for Powell and the FOMC. And then Monday, guys, is a holiday here in Canada. I'll probably just come in for an early morning session with you guys for New York 7 to 10. See what's going on. US is still open. Canada, bank holidays. And guys, what else we got going on? And the long on NASDAQ, beautiful, guys. If anyone caught the buy signal on NASDAQ, okay, closing volume right there. You can see closing volume and then pushing up. So hopefully it drives to all-time highs. And buy of gold, closing volume, retest locations, pushing up. So congrats, guys. If you're utilizing signals with your own trading and getting some pips. So that's almost 100 pips, right? Guys, on YouTube, free Telegram channel pinned over here. Oh my God. What is this? I went in a 5 lot as soon as that candle flipped blue, closed just over 1% instant profit. Holy, 5 lots is big lots. Wow, that's $50 a pip. So, man, good trade. Good trade. It worked out well for you. Congratulations. And guys, if you want free blogs, they're on our website. If you want to join the team, we got 50% off all premium plans. Join. Lots of education. Join Dave in the New York sessions, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with the snipers in Discord, Comex and Wall Street. Tons of education, guys. If you really want to learn how to trade, we have an education for you. Most traders don't want to learn how to trade. They want just where are you buying, where are you selling? I'm a different person. I would like to learn how to trade as opposed to just asking somebody. So my 20% now, break even, close. So now I look at my trade and say, man, I'm thankful that I took out 80% up there and I didn't get greedy. Why? Because I saw structure. I saw there was a pivot right there. I saw there was a pivot there. That was that M pattern that broke down. So it's a static resistance. That's why when it came right up there, I told you guys, I'm closing 80% and I'm happy. Okay. Now the trade can come down, hit my break even. But I'm okay with a break even at 20%. I'm not okay with it coming all the way down and not having a break even and then coming after a stop loss. And then you lose. So break evens I consider as a win. They're fine. You didn't win, you didn't lose. You got to come back stronger and figure out or journal and learn what you could do better in trading. Okay, guys? And if you can give us a subscribe and like the channel. Guys, I'm wrapping it up. That's enough for today. And guys, take a little bit of a break on Zoom. Maybe in about 30 minutes, I'll have another Zoom link. If you want to join, we're going to go till 3 p.m. and then I got to go grab my daughter at school. But just come in. We're going to have a chilled, just a stock introduction, just going over the stock market. We're going to have pre-market gainers, midday gainers. Dave and I are setting up a scanner where we're going to figure out these things. We'll talk about some earnings today. You know, Alibaba was in the pre-market. They're up 6-7% right now. We can talk about right now securities trading at all-time highs. We can work as a team to figure out what stock and options, what sector is moving, what's hot, what's not. All of these things, okay? We're going to make this a regular habit in a stock and options sessions. We're going to start it off maybe 1, 2, 3 sessions per week. And maybe we might be doing a little bit more because it's a whole different world, but it's a fun world to learn, okay? Especially because a lot of these companies or corporations are, you know about these. Like you probably shop at Costco. You probably shop at Walmart. Maybe some of you guys have an Apple product. Maybe some of you guys know all about tech and NVIDIA and things like that. So you guys already have prior knowledge. And all you're doing is you're doing the same type of analysis you're doing with gold, same top-down approach. You're looking for structural bars, setting alerts, waiting, but you have the options now to buy shares of the company, or you can trade options, and then you choose strike prices, calls and puts, and you can go long and you can short. So you can make money in a bull market and you can make money in a bear market. You get the best of both worlds. And there's a lot of passive income that you can earn in the stock and options market that you can't earn passive income through Forex trading. So passive income is the best income, okay? You basically don't have to do anything and you will get paid, okay? So we'll talk all about that as well. Okay, guys, have a great day. Tomorrow morning, again, join us, 11 a.m. Eastern. Leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys in a little bit on Zoom. Okay, guys, have a good day. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day.
Recording
I just got to
stopped.
get some lunch, and then we'll be back. I'll have another link for you guys on Discord. Okay. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in a little bit. Justin, check out. Okay, let us. I'll check it out on the call. Hopefully, Justin, maybe you can join and we'll check it out together. Okay. Have a good day, guys.